Hello, welcome back to Lamatique. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm back this week with some more junk journal flip-throughs. These are some fashion journals I've made. It's like fashion through the ages. I have one in like a pink and black color. A red and black color, and one in some pink tones with a little bit of yellows and that. I really enjoyed making these journals. It was a lot of fun. I'm really happy how they came out. Let me move the one off to the side here, and we can start with the black one. Now, instead of making like a dangle for these, I mean, it's kind of a dangle. You could use it as a dangle, but it's more meant to look like swatches for dresses or garments or something like that. So they can all come off the ring, and you can use them separately. These buttons are actually sewn onto the tag, so you can take those off and use those. It's just a little flower. There are some beads and some blingy things. I did add some extra bolt clips to the back here. I just put them on the ring too, just so I wouldn't forget to include them. That way you can make dangles out of this yourself if you'd like. Then this is the journal. It does have just a simple bow closure, which I'm going to just gently slide off. Bits of fabric. Okay, the front cover here has this pretty digital, some color splotches. I have added buttons to the top here and layered some tags and buttons. There's a book plate down here. It's got some fabric underneath it. The spine is 2 layers of fabric, a red shiny fabric and a lace over top. It does have metal book corners. Here is the back. Get that in frame nice for you. There are some sewn labels down here on the bottom. So there's a little extra going on there in the front and back. Here in the front, there are 2 pages of this black paper. I believe there are 3 pages of this note page. Yes, 3. I just thought that kind of went in here. 3 of this little notebook paper. It does say 2014, but the colors just match nice. Paint chip with colors like in the journal. It's another paint chip. I like the way these paint chips were shaped. It looks like the top of a lipstick, so I thought that was really cute, and I included one of those. Oh, a little Tim Holtz paper doll. A bunch of little bling stickers with sticky back. There's some pearls and some gems in different shapes and colors. I ended up putting extra pockets in these books, which you'll see later. Here is a little like swatch I made. So it's supposed to look kind of like a swatch, but these are actually perforated, so you can take these off and use these as little cluster spots or on something else you want to make. This one is a, I can't remember what that's called. You know what I mean. The little thing that you push through and put the little things down. Here is some bling on that one, a little bow, the center. But yeah, they come apart. That was actually like sewn on there. So you could use them on different pages or part of clusters or other things like that. Flower page and the colors from the book. This is just a little Valentine's Day, and it's... can't remember the name of this show. But anyways, I thought it was cute because she's kind of like fashion-y, and she's dressed in red. a couple tiny ephemeras tucked here in the front. Scrapbook paper. There is some like gray tulle on the edge there. The other side, got some dyeing and some stamping. There's not a lot of decoration on the pages in here. I did a lot of extra decorations. And here's one of those like collaged index divider cards. And it like the bling is under there and it will shift around a little bit, kind of like a shaker. Some mix of some old and new fashion. Little die cut kissy lips. Black paper, hand dyed paper, and you can kind of see some fashiony shapes in it, dresses and shoes. A page from a fashion magazine. Michael Cross girl, but she's dressed all in white, black, and red, so the colors just went perfectly in here. Lightweight scrapbook paper with some splashing and a little bit of stamping. Excuse me. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I had to get a drink. The red paper, that is the 24-pound Astro Brights. Here is that stone paper in gray with some gray splash on the back. You can see that. Part of a coloring book page, but it was like lace, so I thought that went in here really well. Well, it's the whole coloring book page is just cut down a little bit. Black scrapbook paper, and here is some black tulle sewn to this page. And here's your second pocket. And here I have some scraps of paper, a little stamp. That's the paper used in the book. That's the paper used in the book. That's just some other paper, more paper, another little stamp. It says beautiful, a piece of black, and then a piece of like a coloring page. All tucked in that pocket for you. The red paper again. Here's hand dyed, and then there's a print of some old vintage embroidery that I printed on there. Some hearts. Not hearts. Sorry, rose embroidery. Another page from a magazine, a fashion magazine with jewelry. Scrapbook paper. It's got like a newspaper print on it. Sprays of color on the back with a stamp. Black paper, stone paper, doily. More gray splash on that side. It's got a little bit of sparkle. Here I have it's a reprint of a vintage ad. It's on some really nice heavy paper, well, cardstock, and it's got like the textures to it. And here's another handmade, and this is a shaker card, and it's tulle on top. And it's a little collage down at the bottom, and it's backed with paper so you can write on it. I had a lot of fun with these journals. I think they came out really pretty. I was inspired by the cover art to make them. I spent a lot of time with them. Did a lot of extra steps. More tulle with sparkles on it. Collaged time card. And it's backed with the red paper, so you can write on that. More black paper, hand-dyed paper. This is part of a coloring page. Well, a design page you'll see on the other side. A piece of vintage tracing paper. Just that went in there kind of nice with the fashion theme. This is a vintage print of, I don't remember if it was embroidery or, but it's a vintage, well, it's a reprint of a vintage print from a book. I just have it as a digital, but just another little swatch with some heat embossing. Those again will come apart and you can put them different places. Here there is a reprint of a book, of a vintage embroidery book. I printed on this nice parchment paper. Another little vintage reprint on that nice paper again, on that same heavy paper. Oh, it's way down here. Another page from the magazine here in the center, a spread from a fashion magazine. But she was wearing the right colors for this book. And I thought that was a really pretty with all the flowers, and on the other side you just get the flower. The red again. A little bit of stamping. Here's the other side of that vintage print. Tracing paper. Here's the other side of that page. I call it a coloring book page kind of, but it's a Fashion Angels page, and it's just a very light outline of a girl, so you can kind of dress her up. Hand-dyed paper with the stencil dyed again. This is a different stencil, so it has different dresses and necklaces and shoes than the other one. Got a little purse there. Black paper, some swatches of fabric. The red, little fabric bits in there. That's just on the binder clip, and you just take the binder clip off and these come out. You can use them anywhere you want in your journal. Doily, the stone paper, the black paper, a little blank note card with the envelope. Inside there's a little note paper with a little girl on it. This side we have some hand-dyed paper, index cards with some stamps. Here, this is why I use this page here. It says fashion art here. This is why I use this newspaper print page. Cards back, and then here's a little game card with a model on it. I thought that was fitting for this book with the fashion in it. Other side of the magazine page, some red jewelry there. Hand-dyed paper, the red paper. Here is another pocket. Like I said, I put extra pockets in this one. So we've got some like die-cut swatches for you to make up your own. This textured paper, well, it's not, it's sort of textured, but this is this marbled paper I had made myself. A die cut from a paint chip. Here is, this is like from the 2000s or something, old postcard, but it had like a purse on it. It's kind of fashiony. It said spare parts. This is from some store here in Illinois, but it is old, like from maybe 2000, or is there a date on there? No, an address. Late 1999 to 2000, I would guess. Some pieces from a fashion magazine that I thought you could use in the book. They have the colors on there from the book that you could use to make your own little collages or that. A tag, and another pair of lips. There's a twill on both sides of the book. So it goes gray, black, red, red, black, gray. The other side of the coloring book page, the stone paper, red paper, red splash with, I don't know if you can see that, but there is a little bit of a stamp there. The other side of the Michael Cross ad from the fashion magazine. Another little vintage reprint. Looked like they were showing her fabric at a store. And that's on that nice, heavy, like, it's almost like watercolor paper, but it's for printing. The hand-dyed paper again. Here is another little swatch I made for this book. And again, it does have the perforations. And it's only sewn to each square, so you could take them off and use them as part of something you make, or little clusters in the corner. I left some so you could like add a little bit to it or not. And little buttons are sewn on. These are actually hot fix gems, so they're affixed with heat. But yeah, I thought that was cute. I really like that idea of like little swatches. Black paper. Here's another little journaling card I made. It's part of a magazine page. Then it has like this old-fashioned swimmer girl, a little old-fashioned ad, some washi tape, and it's backed on this black paper. You can write on this with gel pens. Here's the other side, just a little cut apart. It says Total Babe. The colors just went nice in here. The other side of that paper. And in the back here, there are a couple sticky notes, diamonds, here in the corner. A diamond playing card, or a gem playing card. 2 little sheets of black note paper. 1 sheet of this memo paper. If you forget one more time. I just thought that was cute, and the colors kind of matched. Scrapbook paper. Scrapbook paper with the glitter. It's textured, but the glitter does not come off. I believe this is one of those offcuts from the dollar store, like the handmade paper and that. And then there are 2 of these that I cut down to fit in here, but those are those Fashion Angel, and I think maybe you can see it. I'm not really sure. It's hard to tell whether you can see it or not, but it's just outlines of girls that you can dress up using your collage, or however you see fit, basically. So it's kind of like fashion, but like if you're designing the fashion in a way. But there's also bits of fashion through the years. But I just really love these covers. Okay, so the next one is the pink one. And here's its swatch ring. So it's got a little pink flower. It's got a couple buttons that are sewed on there. And then little swatches. Different materials, white beads, and then just some beads. And then again, I believe there are like 7 of these little bolt clips that I put on there, so you could use to make your own little dangles, page dangles, like off the material or out of the things on the ring. The closure is just a simple bow closure again. Take that off nice and gentle. Got some dust from the fabric, still losing some of its little stuff because I just finished these yesterday evening. Oh, I'm sorry. So here is the front. It's got that layered labels again with some buttons. It's got some tulle here, some little gems. Here is the fabric on the side, on the spine again is 2 pieces with this ruffly overlay. I love the way this looks and feels. And then here is the back. It's got some labels sewn on there. It's got your metal book corners again too. Okay, so this one's going to be similar to the last, but it's got totally different papers and color schemes. And oh, there, I lost my paper dowel. Got a little Tim Holtz paper dowel, a paint chip, another paint chip, but that looks like a lipstick. 3 of these little pink papers, 3 of these days of the week, and 2 of these papers with the pink edge. Again, you'll have a little bag with gem stickers, so there's pearls and gems, all different kinds in there for you to use to decorate or make your own little journal cards or that. Here's the swatch in the front, and that's got 2 of those. Again, it comes apart so you can just, and that mark is from the blue, from the little, these are, they're the ones that you heat to a fix, hot fix gems. Flower page. On the other side here, there is another one of those little valentines. This one's different. She's dressed kind of like she belongs in this book. Some tiny ephemeras. Scrapbook paper. The other side has been sprayed and stamped. Here is the collage index card for this one. And you can see the sequins move around a little bit in there. Some, like this, is on top, and then the other stuff is under. And there's the back of that one. Little die-cut kissing lips again. Pink paper. Hand-dyed stenciled paper. Page from a magazine. This is a really pretty necklace. Lightweight scrapbook paper. It's got a little spray of yellow and some rose stamps. These rose stamps I use throughout the book. Well, not too much throughout the book, but on some of the things I made. This light pinky page. That stone page with some yellow spray again. Doily. Heavier scrapbook paper, the lace edge. And then here is your second pocket. And this one again is going to be filled with some offcuts. So this is, like, this one's cardstock. It says beautiful up there. Another offcut of some flowers that was pretty. Offcut from this book. This paper's in the book too. Offcut of some yellow graph. A little offcut of some lightweight cardstock with a little stamp. And then a little offcut of some paper. Tried to use papers with different patterns on them. So they were like swatches as well of different colors and patterns. Pink paper. Here is the reprint embroidery from a vintage embroidery book on this one. And it's got different flowers. Trying to see if I'm out of focus. Try to go slower so it'll come back to focus. a page from a fashion magazine again. Some of that old-fashioned paper, lightweight scrapbook. Here are those rose stamps again. This is that Astro Bites. It's a little bit thicker. The stone paper. Here is the lace-looking coloring page in this one. I really like how those went in there. So all these cards, and I believe all the pages are different in every book. The colors in that. Again, that's on that nice paper. And then here's your tool shaker in this one. And then it's backed with that paper from the book, which is that paper right there. It's easier to put back under there if you shake all the sequins back down. All these little things I put in here, I got most of them to look like tags, so it kind of fit the theme. Here is some more lace on the edge of this page. And it does kind of like lift like that on all of them. That inside page, see, another one cut like a tag. And then this is the collage time card for this one. And that's backed on pink paper, because the main color of this journal is pink. That vintage tracing paper, a little bit lighter weight pink paper, hand-dyed paper. The other side of that Fashioned Angels page. Here's this little swatch with the heat embossing of the roses on there. This is the textile print I put in here. It's a digital print, and I print that on that pinky paper. This is the page from the embroidery book for this one. And then here is another one of those little advertisement cards, printed on the nice paper again. The center magazine page. Got this girl, and I just loved what she was wearing. I thought the colors went in here real nice. More little rose stamps. There's the other side of that Fashion Angel page. Hand-dyed paper. Different silhouettes there. Here is the fabric for this journal. So you've got some ribbon, some tulle, some of that lace used on the spine, and another piece of fabric. Some colors that went in the journal. Again, you just lift that and the fabric comes right off. Lace edge. I stuck a couple extra tags in here because in the red book I used paper clips to close the pocket, but here, because I went all the way down the page, I sewed the pockets closed. Where is it? Oh, it's coming up. Here the pocket got sewn closed, so there was no room to tuck some extra stuff in. So I just tucked a few extra tags up in there for you. Coloring book page. So these are just the backs. Here's the little note card for this one with the envelope. Another little page with the little girl on it. The other side, here is the two dyed index cards. And this little card has Princess Diana on it. Which was known for her fashion, too. She was very known for what she wore in that, so I thought that fit in here, too. The other side of that Fendi's ad. Hand-dyed paper. It is very lightly dyed on this side, so it might be hard to see, but it's a very pale pink. Here is your other pocket, and there are 2 pieces of magazine in this pocket. Different colors that went in the book. 2 of those like swatch pieces again, and this is on some real thick textured cardstock as well. A tag, and then this is the vintage postcard with this one, or it's at least 25 years old, I would guess, at least. So it's the same place, spare parts, but this one had yellow, so use this one in here. Here's the other side. Doily. Here is another little vintage print corset shop. Again, it is on that heavy textured paper, so here is the little swatch for this book. So this little is actually sewn on. This little gem is actually sewn on. It was a sew-on gem. So you can see where I sewed it on the back of the card. Little button. There is some tulle there. Then there's more buttons with some pink fabric. And then here is tulle with some sequins in it. But yeah, these are on that perforated, so you could take them apart, use them in the corner, or just leave it as it is. And you can use it as part of something, add something to it. And stuff. It was really cute and really fit kind of the theme of the fashion. And like in the front here, there is kind of like palettes. You don't see a lot of it because it's cut off by the, here, see like the palettes for the color. So it's kind of cut off by my spine, but I don't know if it'd be like fashion through the ages, or I'm not really sure how to describe it, but I really enjoyed this. I really love the way it came out and the themes, and I love the lace on the edges. I just really enjoyed these so much. That yellow paper, the other side of the jewelry ad. Hand-dyed pink, the pink. Another little journaling card. This has got the background of a fashion book, a fashion magazine, a little old reprint, and there's some like little tulle here, and there's the little girl in the vintage like bathing suit. It's backed on the pink paper, so you can go ahead and write on that. Little stamping and spraying. The other side, little cut apart journaling card that says Rebel. More kissy lips. The other side of that paper. Here there are some sticky notes that say Superstar. Another one of those jewel cards. 2 of those little note papers. 1 of those again. I think this is probably the only paper that is the same exact thing in both books. Oh, maybe these, but I don't think they're the same exact girl even. We got pink offcut, that dollar store. This is a piece of scrapbook paper. And then here is your glittered scrapbook paper. Kind of, like I said, it kind of feels textured, but the glitter does not come off. That is from it's from Recollections, so it's a page from this little Recollections with the glitter pages. So that's what that is. Find somewhere to put that. So that's what that is, a page from that book. Oh, and then here are your 2 girls. I think one is the same and one is different. But yeah, I'd really like to know what you think of these ones, because I really went kind of by what I felt at the time. what I thought would look cute or that. And overall, I don't know if I'd say like fashion through the ages or like fashion palette. Well, by the time this video goes up, I'll have decided on some kind of name for it, for them. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Bye-bye.